Hello everyone, FairFarm49 here, and I am actually here with a developer update for you all. So this is actually going to be a little bit different from the other videos that I have posted on my channel, but I just wanted to get something out different for you all and all that stuff. So this developer update is actually about the Finishing Mori, and I guess other stuff too. I have actually finished watching Potato Legion's stream, and he has actually talked about it within his stream, and also has made a video on it. So I actually got this idea from him, and I also got the idea from Dowsy as well, which is another Dead by Daylight content creator, and also he streams on Twitch as well. So please go check them out. They're really awesome and very kind and all that stuff. But with the developer update, let's get straight into this update, shall we? So obviously within the beginning, this update is definitely about the Finishing Mori, but with also a little bit of a twist, and we will get right into that as we read on. So, last standing. When all other survivors are either dead, dying, hooked, or have escaped, you become the last standing. Both your and the killer's senses are heightened, granting you a wider field of view. Rescuing the survivor will end the last standing phase, but being downed as the final survivor, on the other hand, will trigger the Finishing Mori. So unfortunately, I was hoping that with all 4 survivors, you would be able to actually get the Finishing Mori on all 4 if they're on Death Hook without having to bring the Ebony Mori. But it seems like the Ebony Mori is still going to have to be a thing to bring within this new PTB. So definitely keep a lookout for a future video of me doing the PTB. So let's continue reading on, shall we? When the last survivor is down, the trial will draw to a climactic end. Both the survivor and the killer will be moved to a preset point on the map. So let's say you're on Red Forest, either Plague's Red Forest or Huntress's Red Forest. Yeah, I had to think about that for a second, sorry. But let's say you're on one of those 2 maps, right? You go either on Pride Rock, or if the map doesn't have Pride Rock, you can go into, let's say it puts you in the middle of the main building on Plague's map. One of those 2 spots, or anywhere that doesn't obstruct the view, you will have the animation begin with the killer's Mori. So any other survivor within the trial will be killed by the entity and treated like a sacrifice. I don't know how I feel about having to still bring an Ebony Mori. I was hoping that I wouldn't have to bring an Ebony Mori in order to kill all the other survivors as well, but with my Blight, that should be no problem at all. But with other killers, it's going to be a little bit of an issue, only because, like, Myers, Hag, if you don't use her traps that well, or can't use her traps that well, Legion, any M1 killer like Doctor and all them will have a little bit of a harder time trying to get the last kill. But if you are super good with that killer, it should be no problem at all for you and or anyone else. So hopefully that will be fantastic to not have to bring an Ebony Mori. But if you are brand new to the game, I would suggest not bringing an Ebony Mori until like you are more comfortable, for better words to use, to do the Mori and all that stuff. So I suggest, if you are new to Killer, with this update coming out, whenever it will be, I suggest getting used to the power first and all that stuff. So definitely do that. I will definitely do a video on some killers explaining like how to use the power and all that stuff for any new players that is within my awesome community here. So definitely keep a lookout for that. But there's also a little bit of a survivor update as well, I guess. So this one is called Hope Is Not Lost. With the new system in place, leaving survivors on the ground, aka slugging, may seem more appealing, opening the possibility for ending the match early. But the survivors aren't going to give up without a fight. After being left on the ground for 45 seconds, survivors will now gain the ability to pick themselves up without the need of any perks, like Unbreakable or the Boon Exponential. And I think Soul Guard does it too, if I'm not mistaken. This time is affected by recovery speed effects. So I don't know how I feel about this being 45 seconds as a now base kit for Unbreakable, because let's use Myers for an example. Myers is only a tier 1 killer, right? So with Myers, if you are in tier 3 and you have already downed a survivor by a pallet, and it's a really good pallet, or it's kind of a weak pallet but it still has like a good oomph to it for being able to like loop around and stuff, and you got another survivor that is standing, has a flashlight or doesn't have a flashlight, but those two survivors are within a Swift. So let's say you have a Swift and you're playing as Myers, and you have to not keep the survivor down, which is terrible, because if you have downed that survivor by a pallet, you now have to be forced to pick up, even though a survivor might be nearby with a flashlight or might be nearby to be able to do the pallet save. So as Myers, Hillbilly, or anyone that is that needs to slug to be able to deal with survivors like Legion and all them, you now can't slug anymore. So if you are up against a really good team players of Swifts, or just like two people playing with each other, like two good friends that know how to loop, you are screwed. I don't know how I feel about that, because most of the time when I am playing as Blight, which is just an M1 killer, I mostly have 1 or 2 survivors by me at all times, most of the time, because my MMR is so freaking high with Blight that I always sometimes get Swifts, or I get people that are 2 players playing with each other and all that stuff, and sometimes I do have to try to slug as Blight in order to deal with the other survivor that is actually nearby. So, yeah. But with the perk updates, I guess with the base kit Unbreakable, with both the Mori and the ability to pick yourself up, now for the base kit, a handful of perks that grant these abilities will need some adjustments. Therefore, the ability to pick yourself up has been removed from Unbreakable, Soul Guard, No Mither, and Boon Exponential, and this is now part of the base kit. Wait. So then that means they're either going to increase or remove the ability to pick yourself up with Soul Guard, No Mither, or Boon Exponential. But that's if they do it within... I don't know. But let's keep reading and see if there is actually something to do with Unbreakable, Soul Guard, No Mither, Boon Exponential. The ability to Mori survivors has been removed from Rancor, Hex Devour, as this is now part of the base kit. Really? So they're removing the ability to kill from Hex Devour and from Rancor. I wonder if they're actually going to keep the ability to instantly down someone using Hex Devour Hope. Because if they are, I think I might be able to try to use that if I even have it on most of my killers within a video. Rancor is just for the obsession, so it's not really useful, but using Noed and Hex Devour might be a thing to do. Hex Devour is actually more of a hidden totem perk than Noed, because Noed you can see it after the update within a certain meteor radius, and it gets gradually larger to be able to see Noed as time moves on, but we will see. In addition, some of these perks will have changed for the PTB. However, since this is an early preview, the in-game description has not been updated. These are Unbreakable, now increases dying self-recovery speed by 80, 90, or 100%. So, with the being able to pick yourself up is actually a really nice really nice thing, because Unbreakable is still not useless, because Unbreakable just increases the dying self-recovery speed, which is pretty huge, because if you have two different if you have two other players that are really good with looping, you can use Unbreakable to pick yourself up much faster. So let's say a Swift actually runs Unbreakable, or some have Unbreakable, and you are down at a pallet and the killer has slugged you, you can use Unbreakable to recover faster, and it will still be 45 seconds that you would have to wait. But if the survivor is good with looping and distracts them for that time, you now have Unbreakable to recover much faster at tier 3, which is kind of huge but kind of annoying. But I can kind of see a little bit of a different meta with it, so we shall see within the PTB whenever it gets released. Rancor, once all generators are powered, the Obsession's aura is revealed for 5 seconds, and they are permanently infected with the exposed status effect. Okay, so it still does, Rancor still does the same thing that it has done before, except for within the PTB, the ability to kill that Obsession has been removed. So it is still kind of a good, perk to use at endgame, because if the Obsession is your last one, you still have the ability to kill them, and you are able to down them easily. One down, hit down, fully healed, because they are exposed. And they're also revealed to you for 5 seconds. So I think it's still safe to say that Noed and Hex Devour Hope might be the only two that are a little bit better, because Hex Devour only once that 5 tokens have been earned, any survivor placed on hook is instantly sacrificed. Wait, that means Devour might actually be better if you have all 5 tokens, because the survivors placed on a hook is instantly sacrificed. That might be a clutch perk to have. That would actually be, I might have to do a video on that one now. Oh my god, I never use Hex Devour Hope because I don't think I have it. But look out for a video, I might actually do that now and try that. Alright, let's see about these Ebony Mori offerings, shall we? Memento Mori offerings. So with the Finishing Mori being triggered automatically when the last survivor is down, Memento Mori offerings no longer have any use and will also receive an update. These offerings will now award a bounty of blood points based on the number of survivors killed if you earn a Finishing Mori. So the Cypress Mori gains 8,000 blood points if at least 2 survivors are killed and the match ends in a Finishing Mori. Okay. The Ivory Memento Mori gains 12,000 blood points if at least 3 survivors are killed and the match ends in a Finishing Mori. Alright. Ebony Mori gains 20,000 blood points if at least all 4 survivors are killed and the match ends in a Finishing Mori. Much like the perk changes listed above, please keep in mind that these offering changes will not be released without the Finishing Mori system. The Finishing Mori system, anti-slugging mechanic, and other changes mentioned in the post will be available for testing during the next week's public test build. As a reminder, these new features will not be a part of the 6.3.0 update. This is an early preview that is not yet ready for release. We would like to gather your feedback early as we continue developing these features to make their eventual release as smooth as possible. Until next time, the Dead by Daylight team. So, with the Finishing Mori update, it seems like the Moris are now going to be useless to bring. On top of that, they're doing blood points gained instead of being able to kill the other survivors with an Ebony Mori, an Ivory Mori, or the Cypress Mori. Why? Like, I like to kill as Blight. Like, do the Mori as Blight, because I love his Mori so much. And I only get to see that once per game. That's kinda not okay. But we will see when the PTB comes out next week. I will definitely shoot out a killer and a survivor video within the PTB next week, whenever it gets released for you guys. This will be the only video this week, unfortunately, because I have not had the motivation to be able to record due to the cheater problem that is going on in Dead by Daylight. I do not want to run into another cheater. So I'm pretty sure you have heard from Spooky Loops, Spook and Jukes, Potato Legion, Dowsy, and Starver, or however you pronounce his name. They have mentioned something about the hacker problem, and that also needs to be addressed. I also have not had the motivation just in general to be able to make another video. I am kind of dealing with personal problems. Some of you that are watching know those personal problems right now, and I am trying to get the help that I desperately so need and deserve to be able to deal with this problem. But right now I have not been able to, because I have been focusing more on myself and trying to get into a full-time position with the county that I work for currently, because I do not like having a part-time job for long term. It is kind of a little bit stressing me out due to money issues, but it's alright. I am trying my best to be able to fix that and all that stuff. So I will definitely see you guys next week in the PTB videos. If you want to come and check me out on Twitch, I do stream live. I will be streaming tomorrow to Sunday. I stream only weekends, at least right now. I will be streaming on my Switch now that I have a game capture card. So look out for other variety games besides Dead by Daylight, and also House Flipper will also be not on my Switch, but that is also another variety game that I will also be streaming. But now that I actually have a game capture card, I will be able to open up my variety of games that I'll be able to stream for you all in case I don't want to play Dead by Daylight with the current cheater problem. So, with that in mind, I will be streaming this weekend. If you haven't already, please join my Discord for fabulous updates, like the stream schedule will be posted there. My stream schedule will also be posted on my Instagram and my Twitter, so definitely give those a follow if you want to see when I stream. Also give my TikTok a follow, which will be down in the description below with all the other wonderful links to my Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, and Discord. TikTok will just be for like random Dead by Daylight related videos and also clips from my stream as well. So with that in mind, I hope to see you all in my stream and all that stuff. I will definitely try to get out a PTB video for you all next week. So we will see what happens, and I will see you awesome frogs and frog life in the next video. Peace.